What is going on, guys? It's your boy Way Waters, Way Supreme. First and foremost, like, comment, subscribe. This video right here is how to set up on Ghost sneakers. I'll be doing it from start to finish, from activating Ghost itself, what Nike accounts I'm using, what proxies I'm using, what server I'm using. I'm not going to really get into details with the server, but if you do need help on the server, make sure you like, comment, subscribe. That video will be coming up very soon. I said on my last video that the first Ghost sneaker setup that I will be doing would be the Travis Scott's. But a lot of people are actually sleeping on these. This is a setup for the Nike SB Walk the Dogs. They only retail for about $110. I'm in New York City, so with tax and ship, it'll be about 17 bucks. So I'm looking at around 127. You know, so it's very, very cheap sneaker or whatever. You know, it's a very good price in my opinion, and they're probably flipping for around $250, something like that. Once again, you know, if you go on StockX, that's your prerogative. You'll probably get around like 205, you know, probably even high 190s, 198, something like that, which is still a nice little profit. You know, if you make an 80-buck profit and you get 10 pairs, that's 800 bucks right there, you know. But me, I usually sell them personal. Like I said, I'm in Long Island. I'm only an hour away from New York City. So, you know, when I go to Supreme or whatever like that, you know, I just put them all in my trunk, how many I get or whatever, and I just let people online know, hey, I got to walk the dogs or whatever. And you can also do it for a cheaper price because you don't really have to, with StockX, you know, you can probably sell them for about 225, 230, but then after fees and taxes, like I said, you're looking at like 180 or 190 or whatever. But let's get in the release of how we're gonna set up Ghost sneakers for the Nike SB Walk the Dogs. Now I am running a server. As you can see, this is a server. So if you want to get the Ghost link for Ghost sneakers, you always want to make sure you have the official link, because a lot of the links that they do have, they're usually, if it doesn't look like this, if it's not this link right here, not this one. Let me get the actual link. I'm sorry. Ghost. This is the link right here. This is the official Ghost sneakers link by Ghost themselves. And once again, they don't pay me to do this. To me, in my opinion, they're the best sneaker bot out. I will be doing the top 5 on Nike sneaker bots too. Kickmoji is definitely up there. B&B, you kind of have to know what you're doing with Microsoft Excel on how to import the accounts, which it's not too hard at all once you get the basis of it. But, you know, first starting out, it's a little rough. But this is the Ghost sneakers official link right here. You want to go on update.ghostaio.com. When you click on that, a download will automatically pop up, you know, on your Google Chrome screen or whatever you're running. And then, you know, you just open your file manager. I suggest you open your file manager to get it, because sometimes the link wouldn't pop up if you click it from your Google Chrome, because your computer, you know, it's just having that firewall security or whatever they call it. And then the next thing you do is, you know, you click on the setup, Ghost Sneaker setup. I have 2 of them in here. I don't know why, so I'm going to just delete one. Click on this, and then this will pop up right here. That's how you can tell also it's an official Ghost screen. Now, mine is already launching because my key is already activated in there. But if you don't see that, you will see this screen right here, and that's the authenticate license key. So, you know, if you rented it out or whatever, your supplier, he would give you the key. You would copy and paste it in here. Make sure that there's no spaces. You know, if there's a space and you try to activate, it won't activate. So once you enter the key, you want to go, say if this is the key, even though that's not how it's really set up. You know, there's dashes in between or whatever. You'll have like dashes like that in between. If it's like this, if there's a space, if there's space in between there and you try to activate, it will not activate. So you just want to make sure it's all the way back, and then you'll click and activate your key. Of course, nothing will happen if the key isn't correct or if it's already activated on another screen. I think I'm sorry guys, I have a lot of notifications popping up on my screen, but I think AM Notify just restocked. I'm not sure. They are the best monitor group out there, man. Them and Peachy Pings are really good. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, then just ignore me. But okay, so here we have it. Now the screen has loaded up, and this is how Ghost Sneakers looks or whatever. So right now we are on version 2.6.2. They might update before the night is over or before the release tomorrow. So it's pretty simple, you know. If you wanna get the SKU, what you would like to do is just click on it, and once you click on the sneaker, you know, the SKU number for that sneaker pops up. Now, one trick that I've been using. Well, let me take my time with this. All right. So first and foremost, what you want to do is you want to enter your profiles. So this is, you know, your first name, your last name, your address. This is important. If you have an apartment, you would like to enter it there. If you're at a house, you of course leave that blank. Your city, you know, your state, zip code, phone number, and then if the billing address is the same as the shipping address, you would just click that, and that would turn like a grayish color, so you know you can't fill anything out there. And then you know, this is important also, your card type. Make sure you're either running Visa or MasterCard. If you have those, you know, a lot of people just, they automatically click Visa, but some, you know, like even Capital One and Citibank, they're MasterCard. So, you know, any number starting with the 5 in the front of it instead of a 4 is MasterCard or Amex, or, you know, which is American Express, Discover. I'm not sure what number they are. I think they're a 6 or something like that. Or American Express is a 6. Whatever it is, just make sure you know what the vendor is: Visa, MasterCard, American Express, or Discover. You enter your card number, you enter the expiration date of the card, then the CVV, which is the 3 numbers in the back. Of course, you already know this. And then you want to label it or name it whatever you want to name it. Me, I already have my cards put in here or whatever. Like I said, guys, be careful with Wells Fargo. If you have Wells Fargo, make sure you call your bank the night before or that morning and let them know that, hey, I'm about to spend about $2,000, or just give them a limit and tell them that, you know, I authorize the next 5 or 10 charges from NikeSneakers.com. Sometimes they won't even allow it because Nike, what they do is, as an address on the bank statement, they use a phone number. So Wells Fargo sees that as, you know, security detection or whatever they have. And what they will do is they'll just decline it, or they'll take the money out and put the money right back, which is so annoying. So what I did is I went to go get, you know, I got a couple of, you know, I got my Bryant Fargo card, which is Wells Fargo. So we'll have, you know, we'll see how that goes. And then I have a couple of prepaid cards. And then I also have Capital One and Citibank. I will also be adding some privacy numbers in there. Now, with the address, if you live at a house, and a lot of people ask this question, say if you only have one address, but you have a lot of different cards, or you're using privacy.com, don't worry. Just use the same address. You know, for each card, just put the different card number in there, and Ghost got your back. You don't have to worry about anything, basically. You know, you put the billing address is the same. I'm going to just remember that, because now this is why I think Ghost is the best, because they do half of the work for you. Well, they do majority of the work for you, but when it comes to your billing and your house number and how do you get multiple pairs in the same house, this is how you do it. Now, let's just start with the setup a little bit. Now, we know these are dropping tomorrow at 10 a.m. I'm hearing, side note, I'm hearing a lot of people say, you know, they're starting their bot 2 hours and 30 minutes before the drop. But to me, you know, I wouldn't really risk that. I mean, you could do it at your own accord or whatever, but me, I wouldn't risk it, because, you know, when Ghost, when they generate cookies for you, you know, they're holding that cookie for a little bit. So if you're starting it for, say you're starting it at 8:30 Eastern Standard Time and the drop is at 10 o'clock, by 10 o'clock, sometimes that proxy can be banned already, because it's been refreshing on Nike sneakers for so long. So let's get back to it. You know, you click on it, like I said before, the serial number pops up here. Now this right here is a full size run, so it's gonna run every. Let me just back up a little bit. I forgot one thing, guys. The most important thing, to enter your accounts and your proxies, you would click this little that little button right there. It's like a tool button, and you would enter your accounts here and your proxies here. Now, what they're showing right there is the format on how Ghost accepts the proxies. So it says email and password, email with the little semicolon or hyphen. I don't know what the hell it is. I wasn't ever good at English. Screw you if you're hating on me. But this is how you would enter it. You would enter it. So say if my email is brypet22, right? Then you would shift, and you would add that button right there. Let me get a real good close up to it. This button right here. Okay, so you would shift, add that button right there, and then no spaces. You would add the password now. So say if the password is rule123. Now, just like that, that is one account entered. When you buy accounts from a vendor, which I would suggest you guys go on Twitter and follow Boro Incorporated. You can just search it, BOROINC, and search it, or even put Boro INC Nike accounts, search it, and you'll find this page, no problem. Also, Leaf Proxies, they sell Nike accounts, which is, you'll get it before tomorrow's release. But as you see there, the account and the password is in. So now you would just click save. And as you can see now, one account is loaded into Ghost. And for a proxy, you guys will probably already know how to do that. You can put the, the IP, the port, or the user pass. So you'll just copy and paste and place it right there. And then you'll click save. I suggest you guys get residential proxies, not data center proxies. Data center proxies are more for speed. Residential proxies, it'll make it more believable for Nike sneakers. It would look like, it's coming from an individual house. That's why it's called residential proxies. Data center is basically working off of data. Residential proxies, you usually purchase it in gigabytes. You can get 1 gigabyte, 2 gigabytes, 3 gigabytes. Now, if you're running about 500 accounts and you're probably good with 1 or 2 gigabytes, that'll probably run you about $40 on leafproxies.com. They have 2 gigabytes for 40 or 1 gigabyte for 30, and then 3 gigabytes for 50. So the more you get, the cheaper the price is for you, opposed to getting 1 gigabyte for 30, and then, the next one is only $10 extra for another gigabyte. You can't really go wrong with that. And how you would add gigabyte proxies is they just give you a one big list of proxies, and they look like they're the same proxies. But what you do is you copy and you paste it in here, and then wherever the last proxy is, you just click enter just to bring this tab. You see how that tab went down? So say if there's a proxy above here and that tab is on the bottom of that proxy or on the side of the proxy, you'll just click enter, bring the tab down, and you'll paste another set of the same proxies. Because what it does is it rotates, and it's like a proxy pull. They pull random proxies out, and then they add them to your Nike sneakers account. So that's first. And before you enter this setup right here, you want to make sure that your accounts and your proxies are added. I don't like to put ignore losses because I want to see how much accounts actually entered and how much losers I have opposed to how much winners I have. I would do some proxies disable pre-carding. Like I said, if you start, what I do is I usually start 8 to 15 minutes before the drop, so it can, grab the cookie and it pre-cards for you. Now, when it pre-cards for you, it's basically saying that it's entering the account via backdoor already. So, if you disable the pre-card, then that means it at 10 o'clock on the dot, it'll try to enter it, opposed to if the pre-card was on, it would just pre-card for you, and it would say checking accounts at 10:05 or checking results at 10:03, opposed to trying to run it just at 10 o'clock. Like it says on the side, it's slower, so you have a slower chance of entering if you disable the pre-card. So I usually always pre-card, but like for the Travis Scott ones, I'm definitely gonna do some pre-card on, some pre-card off, so to speak. So I'll let you guys know after this release. I'll probably try to get the Nike SB Walk the Dog release on live too on YouTube for you guys, so we could kind of learn together and see where, what went right and what went wrong. Okay, but now that we have our accounts and our proxies in, now this is where you basically, this is one of the main screens right here. This is where you create the task. That's on the Create the Task tab. Like I said, you'll click on the serial number. And then what I usually do is I really don't care what sizes I get. I mean, if we're doing like a Jordan 1, release, then I know that smaller sizes kind of go for more than bigger sizes. So with that fact, you can just take the full size run off. The quantity is how much. Well, first you put your size. So say if you just wanted size 9s, and say if you have 300 accounts and 400 proxies. And that's another thing. You always want to run more proxies than accounts, just in case your accounts get banned. But you'll be running gigabytes. So like I said, you'll copy and paste it. Say if you have 300 accounts, I would copy and paste it. Say if there are sets of 100, I would copy 100 proxies, paste 100, go under there, paste the same exact number of those proxies. That will make 200 proxies. Go under that proxy, paste another 100 set of proxies. I'll make it 300. Then I'll do it one more time, an extra 100 proxies per accounts, just in case. You never know if your proxies will get banned. You'll never know what happens. So it's always good to run extra proxies, in my opinion. But say if you wanted all size 9s, what you would do is you'll put size 9. You already have the serial number because you click that. Size 9, you'll go into your profile. And what I do here is I go into the desktop Nike. That's the website right here. With the desktop Nike, you can put the link here, or you can put the serial, the SKU number. I've seen that if you put the link here while it's on desktop Nike and you click start, sometimes Nike changes the link and you would end up running like these right here. They make them random links sometimes. So what I've learned to do is go on desktop Nike and keep the SKU in there. Don't put the Nike link in there. Just keep the SKU so the bot knows exactly what to go for, because they all have their own individual identification numbers. So then you say if you have 300 accounts, say if you wanted all size 9s, you would go 300. But you wouldn't really do that if you wanted to run multiple cards. You'll probably go like 50 each until you hit 300. So you would go 50 each, your first card, desktop Nike, size 9, SKU is in there. You're not doing a full size run. You're just doing size 9. Now, remember what we said before, if you wanted multiple pairs at the same house with different cards, what you would do is you would click this, and that gives it a random name. So when UPS, say if you cook the shoe, the name will be different. It wouldn't be your name. You'll put a random apartment number, and then you'll put a random phone number. So that makes it that Nike cannot detect that it's going to the same house, because it's one order per customer. So when you do one order per customer and they find out that you ordered more than one, they'll cancel everything. But if you have a random name on each of the UPS deliveries, you have a random apartment number. And don't worry, if you live in a household and you put a random apartment number, they will ship it to that same exact house. You can look at my video. One of the biggest cooks I had was a Homage to Home Jordan 1s, and I got 9 shipped to one house, and they all had different apartment numbers. So say if my apartment was 123 Lane Street, it would, that would be the first one. Then the second one would be 123 Lane Street, apartment 1, and then 123 Lane Street, apartment 2, and then 123 Lane Street, apartment 3, and so on and so forth. So it just changes the apartment number, so it bypasses Nike's one per customer detection security system. And then random phone, it just puts a random phone number under it. And don't get worried if you cook and you see it come out of your account. After you cook, your winners will be under here where you can reveal the email, and then you just go under where your accounts are, enter that email manually on NikeSneakers.com or whatever their desktop website is, and you can check the order like that, or you have the order number. You could also do the order number with the email address to see if your order is processed, or check your cards. But these right here make it so easy for you to purchase more than one in one household. So like I said, you don't even have to click on random name. I don't really think the name is that important, but just to make it safe, random name, random apartment, random phone, boom. Then you would click create. Right now, mine won't create. After you click create, you get all the tasks. But as you can see, the emails are all the same Nike account. When you have different Nike accounts, these would be different. All the emails would be different. If you're running 300 Nike accounts, every single one, it would automatically pull a Nike account for each task under this profile. So you got 50 there, and then Brian Elite, you click create, and then Bryant Green Dot, create. Bryant Capital One, create. Bryant Citibank, create. And as you can see now, we have all these accounts made under the different profiles that I have. And like I said, you'll have a different IP address. You'll have a different email address. So all these will be different. And these will also have a different IP from your proxies. So you'll see, okay, we have 250 accounts from, 3 different. So now you can make one more because like we said, if we're running 300 accounts, so, you could even switch them up. You can go, okay, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 accounts. Okay, so if I have 50 more accounts, let me do 10, so there's an extra 10 more each. So you're basically running 60 per credit card checkout. And, that gives you a high chance. Now, when you're running it, right, after you click start, right, I don't even know if it will start for me. Let me actually just try. You'll click, say getting, I don't have any proxies in right now, and I'm on a server, so it says error retrieving SKU info. When you have proxies in, that won't happen, right? This basically means that my server is banned from the Nike app or the Nike website, so it's going to say error retrieving SKU info. But when you get proxies in, that would say retrieving SKU, and then it will retrieve the SKU, and then it would say getting cookies or generating cookies, and that will take a little bit. You might get errors on those generating cookies, but just let it run. That's why it's good to start 8 to 15 minutes before. Some people I've seen start 30 minutes before. Some people I've seen an hour before. You do it on, your own accord. However you want to do it, you do it, and then you just click start. You can click start all when it's about, I would do it at 9:45, latest 15 minutes, something like that. And always, guys, make sure you're always checking for updates before the release, because they could push a release, up to 30 minutes before the release date. If you are renting this bot, make sure you get all the Discord setup rules, because they usually do guide by guide in the Discord on Ghost. And if the guy is renting you Ghost, make sure he has the Discord that verifies that it is authentic, and it verifies that you will have some kind of setup before the release. And like I said, this is for the Nike SB High Pro Walk the Dogs. Do not sleep on them, guys. They will be flipping. And now let me just show you one time on how you would do full size run. Now, you want to make sure everything is in account. You want to make sure that they're going to have a size 4, a size 4.5, a size 5, a 5.5. And if you're in Ghost Discord, or like I said, the person you rented it from is in Ghost Discord, what you would do is, like I said, you'll have him send you the setup, and they'll tell you what their sizes are. They'll say, okay, they're starting from 4.5 to 12, and then a 13, 14, and 15. So you don't want to waste any tasks. You don't want to do a full size run from a 4 to a 15, because it would grab everything for 4.5, 5, 5.5, 6, 6.5, 7, so on and so forth. And if they don't have a 12.5, now you're wasting about 10 accounts or 5 accounts each billing. So that's what, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. You have 25 accounts that won't even enter anything because that size is unavailable. Now on the task, it would just say, on the status, it would say unavailable size. Now you don't want to waste any Nike accounts. Nike accounts are pretty expensive. They're 50 cents a pop, but you want every Nike account put in. You want all your Nike accounts ready to go, verified. And you really don't want to test a lot of things with the Nike accounts, because Nike, they're getting smart, man. They'll change your password on you for the Nike account. And that's why I'm telling you guys, go to Borrow INC. They do not pay me. I'm just letting you know what worked for me. And what they do is they make the accounts have activity. They log in the account sometimes, make them click the like button for a couple of shoes and all that to make it look like an actual account. That's why I'm going with them. And as I said, I will be going with Leaf proxies. I'm going with residential. I'm actually buying them as we speak. Like I said, they're $30, residential proxy plan, instant delivery. You got to authorize it with your IP. So what that basically is is, you know, every computer has a main IP. So you would enter this number right here after you know, purchase from Leaf Proxy. That's who I'm going with, guys. There's a lot of gigabyte proxy you know, vendors out there. I'm just gonna go with them this time to see how they do. I'm gonna go with about 2 gigabytes, and like I said, it's only $10 every extra gigabyte. You actually can't buy 3 gigabytes. You can go from 1 gigabyte, 2 gigabytes, 4 gigabytes. And this is from Leaf Proxies. And like I said, guys, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what I'm doing. Let me know what you guys would like to see. And tomorrow I will be doing a live cop of the Nike SB High Pro Walk the Dogs. I hope this gave you a little clarity on how to set up for this this great feast that we're about to have tomorrow. And guys, I will be doing it live. Once again, my name is Way Waters. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. In this video, check my other videos out. And if you guys need help, man, you guys can always DM me on Instagram at Way Supreme. Once again, that is WAYSUPREAM. And this concludes that video. I'm out, man.